Hello, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, quiet. That's enough. This is a podcast by my dad and my uncle. They talk a lot about music, like a lot. So please sit back and enjoy. I think they are going to start in about 14 seconds.
Hi there, welcome to another episode of BG's Broken Records. My name is Bob.
I'm Gare.
And we are B and G of the BGs. Sorry.
A little bit of a reach, but sure.
Hey, there's still one alive, okay? So we're into season 2 now. I took the liberty, Gare, of doing a vote, and it was a majority rule, even though it was only 1 out of 2 people. I voted that we're going into season 2 now.
Look at you. Okay, sure.
So last year we did 21 episodes. I'd say that's pretty good for the first year.
I'd say that's great.
According to Anchor, we are better than half of the people who post podcasts. Seriously. They did.
Better than half. Hell yes.
Better than half. And we have 2 people who listen to us every week.
There you go.
I think that's Paul.
Paul, yes.
Paul G.
Steve, maybe?
Steve might. My buddy Ted over in London, I know he does.
Okay.
Oh, and my friend Tom over there wants a shout out. You stayed at his house? He wants a shout out because he informed me the other day that Dire Straits has had an album on the charts for like 1,100 weeks or something like that.
Competing with Dark Side of the Moon?
I don't know. I got to look into it. But Tom's like, maybe I should get mentioned on your podcast. There you are, Tom. We're going to hang up. We're going to put you on pause real quick. We're going to call somebody, get him online, because this guy has jammed with some rockers.
Yes.
Can you hold on? Hold on, people. Okay, we're back.
All right. We are very happy today to have with us a good friend of mine. His name is Matt Smith. And Matt and I first met back in 2000. I was a broadcast television media rep on an all-female team.
You fix TVs?
I did fix TVs,
nice.
Yes. My, you remember that from my Aunt Marion. So Matt came in, and we hit off a friendship from there till the present.
No, I was just going to say, just cracking me up, because I was just thinking about that time. It's like, we met, and then the second one of us said something about music.
Right.
It was like...
it's all over.
It just took off for a 23-year friendship.
Yeah, we'd go on sales calls. He's like, "Are you wearing guy liner?" I'm like, "Shut up! I'm in a band."
All right, that's TMI, just so you know.
This friendship has taken us to Bowling Green. It's taken us to Austin, Texas for South by Southwest, which was a phenomenal experience. But I'm going to kick things off. Matt, who has been... How old were you when you started playing music, Matt?
Man, I grew up around it, like literally grew up around it. I mean, 3 years old type of stuff. And then eventually, started playing piano and stuff like that, because my dad was on the road for 18 years, if not more than that. And it was, he got to conduct Bob Hope's orchestra at one point. He opened up for Ray Charles. The Beach Boys came and watched him once. Hank Williams Jr.,
Very cool.
So I grew up around it. So like our garage wasn't for cars. We had the drum sets and, Hammond B3s and,
Bob, you should have been friends.
Did you have a Leslie with that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, totally.
Good.
Yeah. And I'd go to my friend's house after school, and, their dad was like firing up the grill at like 6:00, and my dad's getting ready to go play a gig. I'm like, doesn't your dad have a job? It was just normal to me. It's just I actually learned how to walk in Detroit, believe it or not.
Nice.
Because I had been all over the place when I was a kid, but I can't remember most of it because I was so young. But I mean, I just grew up around it. And
so did you?
To this day,
you went from piano to guitar?
Yeah.
Okay. First guitar.
So I did the whole thing where you get like the orange plastic.
Yeah.
you know,
Sears and Roebuck.
Yeah, Sears and Roebuck. You know, it was a banjo actually, which turned into a snare drum for me.
Nice.
You know, and then you know, here comes that fateful Christmas where all of a sudden Santa brought me. It was a red Kent electric guitar, which years later I took an obscene amount of manila tape and black electric tape, and I made a Frankenstrat. I made Eddie's guitar out of it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
My first guitar was, I think, probably a 72 Fender Mustang.
Yep.
And I didn't have enough money after I bought the guitar to get an amp. I really wanted a Fender Champ, but I couldn't get one.
Matt,
Oh, yeah.
Matt, how many guitars you have right now?
Right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and an eighth on the way.
Attaboy.
That's a dad for you. Now I've got one more on the way. What's your main guitar? What's your main guitar?
So to me, you know, I've done Strats, I've done the Tele thing, but to me, it always comes back to a Les Paul or some variation of that. You know, so my main one. It's actually a pretty cool story. I finally, I always wanted to design my own thing. And there's a company out of San Dimas, California, GMP.
Okay.
And
Are they run by Bill and Ted?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The Wild Stallions.
Nice.
But
Wild Stallions.
Yeah. Right. But it was cool. So Dan Lawrence, who owns the company, he's the owner, and I'm talking like talked with him on the phone, texted back and forth. I got to design everything from the color to the size of the frets, to what pickups, to the paint job, to the stain of the. I mean, everything was to spec, and I've always wanted to do it. It's cool because he does all of Zach Wild's guitars. He was doing Paul Stanley's guitar for their umpteenth last End of the World tour a few years ago.
25th farewell
tour.
The
1985 tour?
Yeah.
They were quitting on?
Yeah. So he did all of those. The Def Leppard Pour Some Sugar on Me video where Phil Collins has got that Jackson with that head painted. That's Dan. He did that.
Nice.
And so it's a trip. So all of a sudden, you know, on his Instagram, he's halfway through building my stuff, and he on his workbench he just does a progress. It's a Roxy is what the model is called, and it's almost like a solid body version of a Les Paul meets a Gretsch.
Okay.
Basically, it's a fat Les Paul, but it was cool. It was like Neil Schon liked it.
Nice.
Zach Wild liked it. And I was like, oh my, yeah, so it was cool. So that's my baby. It's a black sparkle, so I call it my little black dress.
I like that.
Yeah.
So did they see it out at the factory in San Dimas? Or did Neil Schon just knock on your door and say, you know, show me your little black dress?
Right.
Hello. Whoa.
Hello. Yeah. No, it was Instagram, man. It was just, you know, it was Dan on his workbench, and
that's a great story. I'm gonna
cool.
segue into you've played in an 80s band for, well, you tell us about it. Tell us about the name. I know you've been with the same guys forever. Give us the background on Stranger.
Yeah, so I've been fortunate to have been a part of this thing it's in its 27th year.
Congrats, buddy.
Yeah, and it's the same 5 guys.
That's longer than most marriages.
Yeah, I mean, it's like technically we've been together longer than the most recent version of Kiss, you know. But you know, it's a blast. Yeah, we've worked hard, but we've stayed together. These guys are family. We're the best of friends. We've been through life. You know, we've been through marriages, divorces, births, deaths. We've been through.
The biggest question for a band: how have you stayed together for 27 years?
You know, I think it's
chemistry.
It's a respect thing. It's definitely a chemistry that, I mean, I've got a lot of great guys, and I've played in a ton of bands, and you can find guys that can play, not easily, but you can find talent.
Sure.
To get with guys that just jive, that just...
It works. It's just something that works.
Yeah. I mean, I shake my head at, you know, some of the stuff that we've been able to do over the years. It's just like, oh my gosh, you know, and I think you got to kind of stay, you know, upright with it, you know, just, I mean, probably not the right word, but kind of starstruck by it. It's like,
sure,
I still get to do this, and people still come see us play. And then we get offers to do all these cool things. And it's just been,
well, I saw you play in
amazing.
Covington that one time.
Oh yeah.
And your fan base, dude, they love you. They love you guys.
It's fun. It's a special thing. These guys have seen me move across the country and back, and I've done all these different kinds of projects, but Stranger has always been the rock.
So with Stranger, your band based out of Dayton, Ohio, which people go to stranger80s.com. You can check out the band. And if you're down in Dayton, I bet you they're going to have a gig going and you can go check them out. So give me the first big, I'm going to just say warm up gig that kind of walked off the stage and said, holy shit. Because I'm going to tell you, I can play a bass, right? I was relegated to bass. So I took the lessons. And I'm with this guy, this band called the Ashland Bump, which is a reference to a street in Detroit where every kid who Gary knows and I know, we all took our parents' car over this bump, and you literally got air.
And you bottomed out every time.
Exactly. And there's so many mufflers sitting on the side of the road there. we were practicing in this. We built a little studio on Woodward in Detroit, and I finally said, guys, we got to play a gig. So I went to my friend Mike McCourt, another RIP musician.
Yep.
I said, hey, Mike, we got to do a gig together. Okay, well, I'll get my band Swirly Boy together and we'll play a gig. All right, let's play. Where can we play, Mike? Let's play Lily's. Matt, you don't know this, but Lily's in Detroit is a Hamtramck is a rock legendary bar.
Completely.
Every punk band has gotten on stage there. Every punk band, when they're done playing a gig, goes to Lily's because they've got great music and they always have a great band. So I got to play there, and I actually played there twice.
Yeah.
Once with Lenny and once with the Bump and Swirly Boys. And
wow.
I mean, I walked off and I was kind of like, holy shit. I mean, Strummer sat at that bar.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
You know. So tell me yours.
The one that comes to mind was
Edgar Winter.
I wish. It was Rick Springfield, actually. It was
Slick Rick.
It was an outside show. It was on a Friday night. About 8,000 people there.
And how many people?
8,000.
And you guys are pretty tight with him, aren't you?
We've been pretty fortunate with him. You know, our singer is he's with iHeart. It's been with iHeart for a long time, and he's developed a relationship with him and management, all that kind of stuff. So we've been able to open for him 5 or 6 times. We got to record with him.
And he can play, can he?
You know, think about Rick. You know, first off, you know, I hope I'm that cool when I'm in my mid-70s.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's got a lot more songs than people know. He's not the one-hit wonder that most people think. I've always thought that his strength, you know, as a writer was lyrics. You know, now you got to look past like the Jesse's Girl thing, but he's got some pretty deep stuff on that part. But he's such a good performer, and he's so good with the crowd. And you know, you got to get out to a guy like that. You know.
Sure.
You know, it's like he can't walk 3 feet without somebody wanting a picture, and he's always taking his time with us and doesn't look past us. And
nice.
You know, it's been super cordial, and he's like, yeah, he goes, go ahead and record and I'll do my vocal. And so we worked it out, and it's on iTunes and Spotify and all that kind of stuff.
That's pretty cool. It's always good to hear a story about a musician who's nice. Okay. So you sent us a list of people you've opened for.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to kind of bang through these if that's okay.
Go for it.
Night Ranger.
Yep.
Foreigner. Bret Michaels. Rick Springfield. REO Speedwagon. Huey Lewis. John Waite. 38 Special. Loverboy. Flock of Seagulls. I got to hear about that one. Tommy Two-Tone. Blues Traveler. You co-headlined with Richard Marx. Parachute, which I had to look up. But I think they were, a Chicago band, or were they Indianapolis?
I think he's out of Nashville.
Okay. And Frank Previtt?
Frankie Previtt. So now Frankie, everybody knows who he is. They just don't know it. So Frankie is the guy that wrote and owns the publishing to the Dirty Dancing soundtrack.
Oh, that's cool.
So he wrote Time of My Life. He wrote Hungry Eyes. He's in a pretty cool circle.
Yeah. Now, one of our episodes we did guilty pleasures, and one of my guilty pleasures of all time is REO Speedwagon.
Yep.
Mine was Bryan Adams.
See, he went Canadian, right?
Wow, you hate Canada. Okay, that's another podcast. How you don't like Canada. Go ahead.
Okay,
sorry.
Wait a minute. I am getting so damn old. What the hell is that REO Speedwagon song that I love? Roll with the changes. Jeez
Roll
Louise.
with the changes, yeah.
Tune a piano, can't tune a fish.
Worst album cover. You know who designed that album cover?
I love that album cover.
Oh, that album cover's crap. But you know who else? He did John Lennon's album covers, and then he shoves a tuning fork down a fish and photographs it.
And
come
we're
on.
still talking about it today, and that's from what, 77, 78?
78. Great song. Okay, so I think it's only Kevin Cronin who's still in the band because he won't play with Gary Richrath anymore. How's Kevin?
He was great. It's like we didn't have as much time with him, you would hope, but he was great. Yeah.
Now, before we talk about the Flock of Seagulls, you got to take 3 minutes and tell the John Waite story because it's a good story.
Yeah, the John Waite thing was really cool. So
let me just throw this out. Just in case nobody knows, John Waite is the former lead singer of the Babies.
Yep.
Correct. And a really good solo career, too.
In a really good solo
in the
career,
80s.
but that Babies' greatest hits
Yep.
is pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was also he was in Ringo's band too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. A lot of people went through there. Okay.
Yeah.
Go, Matt. Sorry.
We opened up for John at the Phrase Pavilion in Dayton a while back, and it was cool because there was a fan that had reached out, and I'm not sure how it worked out, but Jeff, of course, is setting up, my singer is setting up interviews with him on the radio station, and they're talking back and forth, and then finds out that there's a fan that is coming to the show. He's in like the front row with his girlfriend and wants to propose during our set, not John's set, but during Stranger's set. And John contacts Jeff, or I should say us because it sounds cooler, and was like, hey, I want to do something with this surprise engagement. And they jump on the phone, and next thing you know, we're set up and we're rehearsing with John for him to come out as a surprise during our set. And we're recording sound check, not recording, but rehearsing sound check. And here's John Waite, and I'm like, it's freaking crazy. And sure enough, he comes out after this guy proposes on stage, and then all of a sudden Jeff introduces the surprise, and here comes John. The place goes nuts, and I'm lucky there's pictures because I could barely remember it because it was just like, whoa. And then anyway,
What did he sing? Missing You, or what did he?
no, it was his choice. He wanted to do
Head
Wild.
first.
Yeah,
Did he
I
do
wish it had been at first. No, he wanted to do Wild Thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and fantastic singer.
Somebody arranges for John Waite to come out on stage with you guys. So the guy who's proposing is in the audience with his soon-to-be fiancée.
Yeah.
And John Waite comes out and basically does a song with Stranger for this engagement.
Yes.
Love it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, and so through the years, because of the iHeart connection, he's been in touch with Jeff, remembered us, blah, 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 blah. Then the world shuts down a couple of years ago with the pandemic. We had recorded with Rick. I was talking with Jeff. I was like, man, we got to do something else. I mean, we're all sitting here. We're all in our homes. We got to do something, because we can't play any shows. And we're like, who can we reach out to? And I was like, dude, you give it a shot. Send a note to John Waite. And I think Jeff was mowing his lawn. And he turns the lawnmower off and sends him an email and basically says, hey, hope all is well. Everybody's going, stir crazy in their house. And we'd love to record one of your songs. And we'd love you to be a part of it if you like it. And I guess within 2 minutes, he emails Jeff back. He says, if it does anything to help you become world famous, I'm in. Joking, of course. But
Nice.
and so we were like, wow. And we went to Cincinnati over the course of a couple months, and we redid Missing You, did our own version of it, sent it to him, and he loved it. And then he went to the Doghouse Studios out in LA, and the original drummer for Berlin owns that place. That's what Slash is recorded there, and apparently that's his favorite studio. So next thing you know, we're getting texts from him in a vocal booth. Sure as shit, he sings it. And he crushes. And so we were able to take his vocal and put it in with us doing a duet. And then, we went back and forth. We did some edits. We, sent him the first, second, and third version of the mix. And he was like, oh my gosh, I love this, more bass. And then he was like, guys, this is fantastic. And we get to release it. So it's out there to the point where he jumps on a Facebook live interview with a friend of mine that hosts like an internet music show and interviews and talks about the song. But he's like, yeah, he said, Missing You has been redone 30 times by people.
I bet.
Yeah, 30 different times. And he was like, Tina Turner did a great version of it. He goes, Rod Stewart did a version of it that was great. But he goes, my favorite version of the song is the one that Stranger did.
Awesome.
That's a great compliment.
That's great.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. Yeah, so it was.
And you sent it to me. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Is it on your website?
Yeah, or it's iTunes and Spotify.
Okay, we'll have to put a link to it in the description of this podcast when we send it out.
So quickly, and Bob keeps looking at me and jumping up and down about the Flock of Seagulls thing. I said, I know, we're getting to it.
I just want to know if he still has the same
God,
haircut.
He's bald. He has no hair.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Nah, he's bald.
Yeah.
Wears a hat all the time.
Oh,
He's got the Matt and Gary haircut.
oh, I'm so bummed.
So go ahead. Good guys, nice guys, mean guys. What was the? Tell us about the flock.
Where are they from?
Well, I'm like going like, you guys, I got love for it, but the Flock of Seagulls one was rather non-eventful. They were nice.
Enough.
We played outside in the middle of a racetrack, so we got to load in, going around the around the turn basically.
Okay.
And we had a great show. They were great, and it was just when they walked in to check in, he was wearing like golf clothes, like had like khaki shorts and like a light blue like Nike golf shirt. I'm like, is that him?
Dude,
Yeah.
where's the spaceman outfit? Come on.
Yeah, so that was cool.
They're from Liverpool. There he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's bald,
Yeah.
but he still has the same look. Mike Score.
Mike Score, yeah.
I can just see him sitting there with that thing going around behind him, and he hits one key on the
Right.
keyboard. Dude,
Now that's talent. God
I mean-
damn it.
unbelievable. Okay, so Tommy Two Tone, how was he?
He was cool. He goes, "You're the guitar player, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "If I break a string, can you change it for me?"
Oh,
So he wanted
fuck.
You're kidding.
So I was, because he just had a backline show up in his band, so they just flew in, and so he didn't have a tech, and so he's like, "Hey, can you help me out if I break a string?" I'm like, "Sure."
Yeah.
Sorry, Tommy.
Yeah.
So my question that I thought of, best warm-up gig and worst warm-up gig
So we just played with Night Ranger about a month ago.
with Jack Blades?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was cool because that was in an arena, Hobart Arena, where Elvis played there. Great crowd.
15,000, 20,000?
No, about 2,500.
Okay, that's all right.
Same thing.
Yeah.
That works. Same thing.
When you say arena, I get excited.
Right?
But, it's like I've been such a Brad Gillis fan. I mean, Brad Gillis, he was the guy that, had to sit in for Randy Rhoads after the plane crash with Ozzy.
Oh.
And he was in
You know.
he's in Night Ranger?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
So I'm like literally like talking to him one-on-one for a long time. We actually made a shirt, took their logo and said Night Stranger and actually gave it to him.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was really cool. Foreigner a year and a half ago was awesome.
Who's left in Florida? Is Lou Graham still singing?
No.
No.
Is he dead?
No.
No, but I think there's something wrong with him. I don't
Who's
know
still in the
who's.
band?
I don't know who's still part of. There can't be.
It's kind of an all-star band. Like Jeff Pilson, who was in Dokken, is in it, and Kelly Hansen, who's fantastic, is the singer. And
Not Don
yep.
Dokken. There's no.
Dude, there's always good rocking with Don Dokken.
Dokken, yeah.
Current member Mick Jones, Jeff Pilson, Kelly Hansen, Michael Bluestein,
Huh?
Chris Frazier, Bruce Watson, Louis somebody.
Nah.
Yeah, Castillo or whatever.
No, Louis Mandelano.
Yeah, Mandelano. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they used to have Rick Wills in there. He was an old English bass player. Yep. You know who I always see together? Marco Mendoza and Tommy Aldrich.
Oh yeah.
So I went up to this shithole bar up on Harper. I went up to the IROC.
Yep.
I called you from there. You're in Chicago. It's Thin Lizzy, but they've got Marco Mendoza and Tommy Aldrich
On a payphone.
on a payphone on a Sprint card. Shoot. Sorry. And there's some people out there who'll get that inside joke. So it's Marco and Tommy Aldrich. I mean, they were just banging the shit out of it. Matt, I'm telling you, 50 people in the audience, 75 in the bar, right?
Wow.
12 months later, both those guys are on stage at the Palace playing with Ted Nugent. And it's like, I mean, these guys are just guns for hire. They've got to know literally everything.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay, so worst. Who is the worst? Who's the guy you just wanted to say, you know what, I'm taking you off my stranger set list. I'm not even
good.
going to play it anymore.
Please don't call me anymore.
Come on, slag him off. Slag him off. Tell him he was wearing his. Tell us some story about his underwear showing.
Yeah. Tell me smelled or something.
Okay, so I don't have that guy was a complete freaking asshat.
I love that term.
But so we played twice last year with Bill Champlin, who was in Chicago for 27 years. So
Okay.
hard habit to break.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
Peter Soterio. So Bill's the other guy.
Okay.
But now Bill, like so he wrote "Turn Your Love Around" for George Benson with Steve Lukather.
Ooh.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay.
Like one of his best friends is David Foster.
Wow. Okay.
Like he's super tight and has toured for years with the guys in Earth, Wind, and Fire. So that's his circle. and we didn't open for him. We played with him. Like
Okay.
we actually, like, he sent us charts. We learned his versions of some Chicago songs and some of his stuff. And so we co-headlined. It was a stranger show with Bill as, you know, as our special guest, him and Frankie Previtt.
That's cool.
And Bill is really funny, but you know, when he's hanging out with Steve Lukather,
yeah.
and here comes Matt from Stranger with his, oh, look at my little black dress guitar. Like, you know, I'm like,
Look at me, look at me.
you know, and it hits you because it's, you know, in your monitor, you know, a song like Hard Habit to Break, which was a huge hit, but that song, it changes keys 4 times.
Really?
And it, oh yeah, I mean, it's really, I mean, it's a David Foster masterpiece. You know, I was like, oh my gosh, because we learned it. You know, and I practiced it over and over and over and over. And we practiced it over and like, you know, I could do it with my eyes closed. But then here comes sound check, and I'm standing 3 feet from Bill, like that's where my amp was, and that's where he was. So I could hear like his feet hitting the, you know, the sustain pedal on his keyboard. That's how close I was. And all of a sudden you hear him sing, and that voice is coming through your personal monitor, and you're like, oh my gosh, like that's the guy.
Right.
And here comes 90 degree heat.
This isn't going well.
You know, I didn't have enough water.
Oh boy.
The eggs I had 6 hours earlier wasn't working more, so I had like a blood sugar thing.
Ooh.
And we're practicing, and I bass during sound check, spaced. And all of a sudden, Bill's cutting us off, and he's getting, you know, a little tense.
Right.
You know, and I just had to look at him. I go, yeah, that was me. He's like, well, did you practice it? I go, yeah, I got it. I just had a moment. And so we make it through. I go back in our dressing room, and I sat with a guitar, and I played this song for like another hour after, you know, of course, ate and got, you know, back to good. And the show went over great. But when you have the dude, and it's like,
oh, I bet.
It's like, yeah, well, you know, I'm having lunch with Steve Lukather tomorrow. Maybe he'll sit in for you instead. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Please.
Right.
Please.
Yeah.
No, but Matt, seriously, I mean, you've been on the same stage as all these bands, and yeah, there are a lot of 80s bands. Jesus. Yeah. My theory nowadays is I'd rather go see the bands now because they're sober. They don't come out all stoned or whatever.
And they're more hungry now, and they're more hungry, Bob, you bring up a good point, to do a good show because they might not have in the past.
Right.
And they're so appreciative of having 2,500 people show up for them.
Right.
Now, Matt.
I mean, like Huey Lewis. I would never listen to Huey Lewis up until probably about 5 years ago. And then I heard some of the songs. I'm like, they're not.
I can't believe
I know.
They're not bad.
Power of Love. It's not a bad song. But you know.
And it brings us right back to Bryan Adams.
Oh,
look at that.
Up. Forget
Bryan Adams,
the Canadians.
The MTV Unplugged.
No, but, you know, I will say
Matt.
this. Aha is one of the biggest downloads with their song in Spotify history. Like,
really?
Yeah, like
Not surprising.
1.8 billion.
Sure.
Right? I hated that song.
Yep.
World-class video, which put them on the map. If it wasn't for that video, I don't think it would have done it. But you play Aha now or Kajagoogoo, I'm probably not turning it off. All right, there, I said it. Okay? I am woman, hear me roar.
How can you not put on a band with the name Kajagoogoo?
And that guy.
Matt, we're coming to the end. What's Stranger? What gigs do you have coming up?
We are studio bound right now we're doing some more stuff with Frankie Previtt.
Okay.
And that's early stages right now, so we're sketching out stuff. Shows will start back up. We actually might have one in early February. The guy that we record with, I don't know if you guys remember Blessed Union of Souls.
No.
I do not.
Yes, so that was his project. They had a couple hits in the 90s.
Okay.
And then a guy named Rain Johnson, who's really, really good. He's kind of like a new country guy, but they're all bands that work with Mark Liggett out of Cincinnati, and that's who we did all the stuff with, John Waite and whatever. So we're going to try to do a Valentine's Day show with those guys, or a pre-Valentine's Day, early Feb. And then we'll start doing some stuff with iHeart in April.
Nice.
Yeah, and then stay tuned. There might be another Bill Champlin, Frankie Previtt thing coming up.
Well, let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'll get you back on the air. I mean,
Oh yeah.
we're hot in Pakistan.
You should hear our metrics. It would blow you away.
Oh, yeah.
I bet.
We're listened to in 14 countries, 0.003%.
Yep.
Hey, but it works for us, all right?
Exactly.
We get a laugh out of it. Hey, Matt, great talking to you. I think I sat on your porch and had a beer with you. Did I ever meet you?
I don't.
I was in Ohio with you one time. No, it was somewhere outside of Grand Rapids. You had a buddy out there.
Oh, when we picked up the Korean server.
Yes.
Yeah. That was
Different dude.
Matt. Yeah, different Matt.
Yeah,
Right.
sorry. Right. All right, well, Gary and I are going to get down to we'll get down to Dayton and check you out.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
I will. I'll keep you posted. But
Thanks for.
great talking to you guys. Gary, miss you, love you.
Yeah,
And,
love you, brother.
right on.
Thanks for taking the time.
And the only thing I'm going to throw in, Matt, in your set list, you may need a Heaven 17 song.
Oh, we haven't had that. We'll have to take that off air. But that Bob and I recently saw him on Bob's recommendation. These guys were off the
In
hook.
an arena,
They were
400 people.
right. They were
Wow.
off the hook. Awesome, dude. If they come through, you got to go see them.
Okay.
And they're nice guys. Matt Smith, Stranger. The website is stranger80s.com. Dayton,
Correct.
Ohio.
Yep.
Rock and roll. All right. Thanks for giving us a buzz.
Right
All
on,
right,
bud.
brother. Talk soon. See ya.
Well,
Whoa.
that was a cool conversation.
Whoa.
I just wish Kevin Corona was a little nicer to him. Come on, Roll with the Changes is a great tune.
It is.
It is.
Right.
Okay, everybody, thanks for listening.
Absolutely.
Check out Matt's site, stranger80s.com. Send this link to somebody that you know who likes music. We want to be heard in Chile before the end of this year. So if you
Yes.
know anybody in Chile, send this to them. So thanks for tuning in. We'll be back in a week, and then we're going to go from there. What do you got, Gare?
See ya.
All right, everybody, thanks.